here on my socials, so feel free to follow me on your favorite one. Today, we're going to go ahead and tap into some more energy, pick up some messages from the divine, and see what we have in store. Of course, I'm going to roll the dice. Whatever planet we get, we're going to talk about that. And then whatever number we get is going to be the number of cards we lay on the spread. And then, of course, we'll do some clarification. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay. So we have Mars and we have the number 12. Right? So we got Mars and we have the number 12. All right. So 12 does reduce down to 3. So you could be like wanting to work with someone with some plans or some desires that you have going on. All right. You're needing to take action on something. And maybe you need people to help you with what it is that you're wanting to do. All right. Maybe you need someone to collaborate with you to achieve your desires and the things that you are, wanting to work on. All right. We got 12. Let's get into it. Let's get these 12 cards on the table, and then we'll do some clarification cards as well. All right, so Divine, what message do you want the collective to know about their desire, will, and action? All right. What are we helping them with? What do they need to see? What do they need to know? All right, so first card, second card, third card. Right, the first card that flipped out, which is the leading energy, is the Hierophant. All right, so Divine is saying you're going to have to stay grounded, all right, within your moral standards and moral record. Can I talk today? I know I can talk today. All right, so the Divine is saying you have to stay grounded within your moral requirements of what it is that you're wanting to achieve, all right? So the Hierophant is all about like spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding, spiritual wisdom, all right? Having a fruitful prayer life, all right? A connection to the Most High, all right? To your spirit guides, your ancestors, whatever you believe in as a higher source of power, all right? Just really being tapped in, all right? Having a pure relationship spiritually, all right, as you are moving towards these different things that you're working on. All right, give me 1 second. We're going to look at all of these. All right, so we need one more. All right, so bottom of the deck, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this could mean that you're coming out of some things that didn't necessarily work out in your favor. All right, this could be you coming out of some energy of being sluggish. All right, having some disappointments, having things not work out necessarily in the way that you thought they would work out. All right, but before we can really get into this Wheel of Fortune, let's see what these other cards are. And you gotta excuse my OCD, like I be wanting them to look lined up so pretty, so perfect. So pretty and perfect, okay? Okay, so let's see. So again, leading energy, we have the Hierophant out here. All right, so that's Taurus energy. All right, someone who is, again, very wise, a teacher, somebody who knows how to give advice and seeks to continue learning about, spirit. All right, they got the keys to unlock a lots of potential. All right. So next card we got out is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so this will or this action that you're moving towards could have something to do with your finances. All right, something to do with what you're investing in. All right, maybe you're feeling like you're not investing your time and your energy in the right places, and you're needing to pray about it a little bit more to get some guidance, because maybe you just realize you are, not having the best of luck, and you could see favor in other people and other situations around you, and maybe you're starting to look at yourself like, hey, what's going on here? What is this about? All right. Listen, Page of Swords in reverse. So again, this is you looking at something, all right, and you just kind of wondering like, why isn't it working out for me? All right, why do I have like this misunderstanding that other people are grasping? All right, that other people can see. All right, does it have something to do with my thoughts? All right, does it have something to do with what I'm looking at, what I'm surrounded by? All right, and then the next card we got is the Tower. All right, so I'm picking up on from the Hierophant to the Knight to the Page. All right, something's getting ready to happen within your life. All right, that's going to kind of set you free. All right, it's going to get you out of this Page in reverse and this Knight of Pentacles in reverse as well. It's going to be like a liberation, a purification. You're going to have some sort of sense of enlightenment, some sort of change. All right. It may seem a little bit devastating, all right? It may come out of nowhere, all right? But it coming out of nowhere and creating this tower moment is going to kind of force you out of your comfort zone, force you out of being stuck in low-key a prison, all right? So forcing you to come out of this prison, all right? Fix your thoughts, fix what you're investing your energy in, all right? So that you can move towards your desires with, a new sense of spirit. Because once you get kicked out of this castle, all right, you have no choice but to start rebuilding, all right? You have no choice but to take the revelation and do what you're going to do with it in order to become a better person. Okay, so this might hurt, all right? This sudden change and this realization, all right, it's gonna hurt you a little bit. It's gonna interrupt your emotions. It's gonna cause you a little bit of turmoil. You're gonna have to go through a little bit of grieving, all right? But what I do like is that from the Tower and the Five of Cups, the way it's coming out in the spread is that these both have the symbol of Mars, which is what we are talking about. We're talking about Mars. And when I say the symbol of Mars, I'm talking about this right here, all right? So this is all about desire, action, and will, all right? In order to take action towards your desires, you have to have a spirit and a will to do that, all right? And so maybe that's why the Hierophant, popped out in the beginning, because you got to tap in with your guide. You got to tap in with the Most High. You got to tap in with the universe, the divine, Jesus, Buddha, whoever you serve, all right? That's going to lead you to that light, love, and peace, okay? So the Five of Cups, all right? You could be having an unexpected breakup, all right, with somebody you're romantically involved with, maybe some friends, maybe some family members. It could be anybody, all right? There could have been some sort of betrayal going on. This could have been betrayal on either end, because over here, we don't blame everything on the karmics. We take accountability. So it could have been betrayal on your end. It could have been betrayal on their end, all right? But you have this sense of fear of abandonment, all right? It's like you don't want to walk away from this situation, all right? You realize that you messed up, all right? But when it's all said and done, you did mess up, all right? But you can't focus on what you're looking at. You can't focus on what you didn't messed up, all right? What you didn't knocked over, what you didn't make collapse, all right? You have to focus on the energy and the emotions that you still have left, all right, to carry you on to the next journey, to the next moment of your life, of your purpose, of your story. All right. So we got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So far right now, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Both of these are in reverse. All right. So with both of these coming out, the way that they are on the table is giving me like being in a situation, all right, this could be a job, again, this could be a relationship, this could be just a group of people where you are sharing your finances and your resources together, all right? It's like somebody's not recognizing the energy and the effort and the amount of resources that you're providing to a particular situation, all right? And it's causing you to be in a sense of having maybe bad debt, all right? Or maybe you are in this energy, or people around you are in this energy of being greedy and selfish, all right? So it's like they will allow you to just pour into them, 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 but then they don't really have much left to give you, all right? So here you are having to beg for energy that you freely gave out to everyone around you, all right? So that's the top row. Let's get into the bottom row real quick. All right, so bottom row, first card under the Hierophant, we have the Magician, all right? So you praying and you are trying to work your way through some things. You're trying to manifest a whole new life. You communicating, all right? You communicating with yourself and your spirit guides, your ancestors. I'm talking about everybody, everything, okay? You communicating, all right, so that you can manifest a new life, all right? A new beginning, a new start. It's like you know that you have this infinite potential and you just have to learn how to tap into it in order to utilize it, all right? So you could have a lot of creative ideas going on right now, all right? You could be just really learning to adapt to the changes, all right? Being really solid within your energy, especially your mental energy, because that again is one of the starting points of being able to create, all right? Being able to manifest is that mental energy, all right? So you are working on making sure your mental is good so that you can achieve your goals, all right? So maybe you're listening to affirmations or you're saying affirmations and, you know what I'm saying, you reading books and text and watching videos that are actually going to help you, all right, and uplift you, all right, despite all of the other things that could be going on in your life. Now we got the Four of Pentacles out in reverse as well, okay? So somebody's going through a lot of financial strain, all right? And their ultimate will and desire is to come up out of this through prayer, through manifesting something different for themselves, all right? So with this, Four of Pentacles out here in the reverse, you have to look at what you've actually done with your finances, all right? How you've invested, all right? Who you've given to, all right? Were you living above or below your means? Like, how was your energy and mentality, emotions and emotions centered around your finances, your energy, okay? Baby, listen. King of Pentacles in reverse. All right, somebody is praying to the gods to fix their finances, okay? Let's see. Eight of Swords, all right? We have the Eight of Swords. So someone is not only praying, all right, but they're having to really look at the situation that they put themselves in, all right? So it's like mentally you could have had some negative thoughts about money, about your energy and the value that it really carries. And because of that, it's like with this Eight of Swords, you kind of put yourself in a box or in a cage, all right, when it came to you being able to create, you know, growth and expansion and truth around all of this abundance in the world, all right? All this abundance in the world, and you wanted to put a cap or a limit on what it was that you could create, all right, or what it was that you could have, all right? This card popped out. This is one that popped out in the reverse. So you could have someone coming into your life, or you could be getting ready to, you know, come up out of this, all right? Your desire and your will is to come up out of this and be somebody who is proven, all right? Somebody who's going to have a track record of proven success, all right? You're going to, you know, dust yourself off, all right? No matter how long it takes, you're going to dust yourself off, come out in this King of Wands energy, and you are going to be filled, spirit, knowing how to bring in the things that you desire for yourself, all right? You're going to have a new intellect. You're going to have a new ambition. You're going to have a new assertiveness, all right? And you're going to face any challenges with a sense of passion, all right? This is also someone could be coming in being generous with you, all right? Somebody could come in, give you an opportunity to help you out of the situation, because you never know how the divine will work something out for you. All right, so the last card we have is the Seven of Swords, all right? So Seven of Swords is, all right, just making sure you keep your mind, again, free of being restrained, all right? Don't put yourself in any sort of mental conflicts, all right? Don't let anybody else put you in any sort of mental conflicts. Don't let people come in, dropping seeds, dropping doubt, all right? Coming in, trying to be deceptive and conning with your energy, all right? With your mental energy, all right? Don't let them come in saying stuff, doing stuff to deceive you and keep you feeling trapped, all right? Okay, so let me look at this. So we got, yeah, so I'm getting like your mind is what's causing this tower moment, all right? Your mentality is what's causing this tower moment. It's like spirit's gonna step in, since it's like you're not really ready to make the change on your own. Sometimes spirit will force you into making the changes necessary for you to grow, especially if you have a calling on your life and a purpose that's bigger than what you're currently doing. Spirit will step in, start shaking stuff up that you didn't expect to shake up, so that you can grow from it, okay? So yeah, because of these swords, because you're mentally like, it looks like you're scared, all right? You're scared mentally and you're going through some things, all right? But you have to accept it, all right? And then you have to decide to move on, all right? How many pentacles we got out here? It's a lot of pentacles we have. Well, it's not that many. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so 12. All right, you're seeking some sort of justice, all right, concerning your finances, concerning balance within your finances, which is your overall desire for this action and this will. All right, with the planet Mercury, is for you to have justice and balance towards your finances. All right, again, like I said, I do see that you could have been in relationships where you were giving a little bit more than what you were receiving, and so now you're just looking to balance out those scales, not only financially but energetically. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and tap into some clarifications real quick. We're going to clarify the top row, then we're going to clarify the bottom row. All right, so yeah, we got some of every zodiac sign out here. So the Hierophant, Taurus, the Knight of Pentacles, we got Leo, Virgo. All right, the Five of Cups is Scorpio. We got Taurus out here again. The Four of Pentacles in reverse is Capricorn. All right, the King of Pentacles is Aries, Taurus. All right, Eight of Swords, we got Gemini out here. King of Wands, we have Cancer, Leo. All right, so most of this read is about money, it's about finances, it's about resources. All right, so again, at the beginning we said somebody's desire, somebody's will, somebody's ready to take action in order to get their finances together is what I'm saying. Divine, let's clarify this top row. All right, let's clarify the top row and see what's going on. Okay, so first card that popped out. All right. First card that popped out is the Devil card. All right. And the Devil card popped out under, funny, it popped out under the Hierophant, the Magician. All right. It's the third card. All right. On that row, the Devil. All right. So you could also have this desire and this will to let go of a lot of the things, all right, that have kept you kind of grounded in your lower nature, all right, your lower state of being, all right, things that the world tell you, things that the world will program and tell you to be attached to, all right. All right, things that don't, again, benefit your spirit. So materialism, bondage, addictions, you know, sexual immorality, those kind of things. All right. So maybe you are praying your way out of that because you're seeing that it's not beneficial for you. All right. The next card we got was the Knight of Cups. All right. So we got the Knight of Cups, and this is falling under the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. All right. So with this falling under that, it's giving me you was out here rushing in, giving your energy to situations and people, all right, that essentially had you in the Five of Pentacles. All right. You guys attached. All right. Within a false sense of love and with a false sense of building. All right. And you guys thought you were going to be able to create something and it ended up collapsing. All right. So it's like a romantic issue. All right. That, you know, just it went sour. It went bad. It didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out. All right. You thought it was going to turn out with you being in this energy of a King of Pentacles. All right. With everyone watching you with the Page of Swords. All right. But it's like the opposite of that, all right? It was like an illusion was cast on you to get you in this situation in the beginning, all right? You didn't see through the illusion, but now maybe your intuition is picking up and you're starting to see things clearer now because you're starting to look at your shadow self, all right? Your darker self, all right? You're attached to this world self, all right? And you're seeing, all right, the reality. And you know that God and the divine is not really out here playing, all right? So Next card we got is the Magician. All right, the Magician on the roll where we have the Tower, and then as well the Eight of Swords. All right, so you are, trying to manifest your way out of this feeling of feeling mentally slaved to a certain situation or relationship that you're in. All right, you are trying to manifest your way out of feeling like you're unable to move. All right, feeling like you are frustrated, all right, and confined to a life that you don't want because of the way that you think. All right, and so with this Magician popping out here with the Tower card, is like, this Tower card is going to help you to get out of that mindset so that you can start creating the life that you want and not just settling for something, that you got yourself trapped into. All right. So the next card is we have this Knight of Wands. All right. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups popped out. All right. And this is falling up under the Five of Cups and the King of Wands. All right. So the King of Wands to the Knight of Wands. All right. The King done learned how to balance out his energy. The King done learned who, where, and when to lay down his rod, and what it means to lay down his rod, and the importance of laying down his rod with someone who can receive it in the best possible ways. All right. And when I talk about the rod, I'm not necessarily talking about this little stick that this man is holding in his hand. I'm talking about your rod. All right. If you're masculine, I'm talking about your rod. All right. The king then learned the value of his rod. All right. The energy of his rod and what can energize his rod in the right ways. All right. But the Knight of Wands just be rushing to put his rod any and everywhere. All right. And when you put that rod any and everywhere, then it fucks up your finances. All right. Because you need to be able to put your energy into a source, into another person, into a divine feminine in order for your finances to stay balanced out. All right. So last card we got was Justice. Okay. So I did say that someone is looking for justice. Was it with their finances? Let me see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it wasn't that. But yeah, we have justice out here. All right. So with the justice, it's like someone's looking for a situation to where they don't have to be deceived. All right. They don't want to be deceived, and they don't want anyone coming in trying to deceive them. They want a relationship that is fair and balanced when it comes to the energy being given and taken. All right. When it comes to sharing the financial responsibilities, they're looking for someone that is, going to meet them fairly. All right. Justly. All right. Not just here to be in a relationship for like survival type shit. Bottom of the deck. All right. Collective, you could be very tired. All right. You could be very tired, drained. All right. Spiritually, mentally, obviously, with this Eight of Swords out here, from trying to fight this battle. All right. Trying to stay strong. All right. But you are literally, you know, at the edge of a breakthrough. All right. You are so close to a breakthrough, and Divine is saying you just have to keep going. All right. I'm going to put this right here. All right, so bottom of the deck, we do have the Death card. All right. So with this Death card, it's just like you are going to have to make a transformation. All right. You are going to have to walk away from whatever life that you're currently in order to have a better one, all right? And in order to have this 10 of cups, all right, this 10 of cups is going to be an emotional fulfillment for you, all right? Happy home, happy life, happy husband, happy wife, happy kids, all right? Everyone's taken care of, all right? Everything feels successful, everything looks good, all right? It's like an indication of you being guided and protected by the Most High, all right? You knowing when you look up in the sky, all right, and you realize that you are so content by the things that you've been able to manifest and create in your life, and you know it's nobody but God, all right? So this is the energy that you are wanting to get in after this rough lesson, all right? You know, it's life, you know, you go through it, but you don't let it keep you stuck type shit, all right? So with this Hermit card popping out next to the 10 of cups, it's really an indication that you are going to have to go within, all right? You're going to have to go on a journey to find self, to connect with your spirit, to connect with God, all right? Connect with your higher self, and that's going to take a lot of reflection. All right, you're gonna have to take a lot of reflection. You'll have to isolate yourself, maybe withdraw from society. If you have a problem with doom strolling, all right, if you have a problem with watching content you ain't got no business watching, you're gonna have to withdraw yourself, all right? You're gonna have to do a mental detox, all right? A mental detox, maybe a social detox, all right? Maybe even a physical detox with like the food and things that you're eating, all right? Maybe start doing some fasting. But when it's all said and done, you're going to have to allow yourself to accept the ending, all right? To let go of the past, to let go of the pain, to let go of the deception, to let go of the deceit, even if this was some things that was self-inflicted. And, you know, even from those around you that you thought you loved and was going to build with, all right? You're going to have to eat it up, soak it up, all right? With the Hangman, you're going to have to look at it from a different perspective, all right? Instead of looking at it as a loss, look at this as lessons that you gained, all right? Take the experience, all right, and allow it to shift your perception so that as you move forward towards a new journey, that you're not repeating the same mistakes, all right? And then this is going to free you up, all right? This is going to get you out of this Eight of Swords, which popped up again, all right? It's all about freeing the mental. You need to free your mind, all right? Find some sort of enlightenment. Find some sort of passion that's going to help you to move towards your desires, all right? You got to get out of the mental cage, all right? Then once you get out of that cage, you got to keep your guard up. You can't let nothing or anyone come in and try to distract you, all right? The Queen of Pentacles is someone who carries a lot of wisdom, all right? She didn't see it all. She didn't experience it all, all right? The pain, the hurt, the losses, all right? Having to rebuild to a point in a place to where nobody can knock her crown off, all right? So whether you're masculine or feminine, this is an energy that you should embody, all right? Don't let nobody knock your crown off. Sit on your throne, all right? And if you need to figure out something, you know how to go within and figure it out for yourself, all right? Because you didn't do the work that it takes to make your mind mentally strong, all right? All right, Divine is saying you cannot allow ignorance to be an excuse for you, all right? That I didn't know, because even if you didn't know, all right, you still have the opportunity to figure out solutions and ideas and come up with something, all right? Ignorance cannot be bliss for you in this situation, all right? You have to accept the honest truth and the facts, all right? And then move forward. Right, Spirit is saying you're going to have to do some chasing, all right? You're going to have to do some chasing towards the change that you want to see in your life, towards the progress that you want to see in your life when it comes to you coming out of this financial situation and just getting your mental right. You're going to have to chase that as a dream, all right? As a desire, all right? You're going to have to put all of your energy and will into that, all right? So instead of chasing things that, you were ignorantly chasing in the past version of yourself, you're going to have to start chasing some things that are a bit more productive and pure to your state of being, all right, to your finances, to your energy. All right. And when you start to do that, you'll start to find your happiness again. All right. You'll start to find your peace again. All right. You'll start to have more joy again. Once you start getting in that energy of being more happy, more joyful, you'll start to find positivity wherever you go. And that's going to help you to increase your finances. All right. It may be something a little bit scary. You may have to make some changes again that you may not necessarily know how to make. But as long as you take the first step and you have the intention of continuing to take, one step at a time and allow spirit allow spirit and the divine to guide you, then you will eventually start to get more information. All right. You'll eventually start to connect more with spirit and grow in that area. And then as you're continuing along this journey, it won't be as scary as it was before. Right. Spirit saying you're going to have to focus. All right. You're going to have to focus on the goal at hand. Don't get distracted because the mind. All right. There's so much going on in the world, all right? There's so many distractions, all right? They want you to be in an energy of being fear. They want you to be in an energy of having lack. They want you to be in an energy of being lustful with putting your rod any and everywhere, all right? So you got to stay focused on what's important. All right, it says trust in divine guidance. You're protected and you're loved. All right, so guides, ancestors, God, the universe, again, whatever higher source of power you believe in will be there to guide you along the way. This pops up a lot in my readings and it's pictures, all right? So don't get lost in the nostalgia, all right, of your past, all right? Don't get lost at, what I'm saying? Appreciate your memories that you've created, but also appreciate the fact that you have the opportunity to create new and better memories, okay? All right, like allow the pictures and the memories that you have from the past to be like a stamp of where you were at versus where you are going, all right? Allow yourself to see that you need to make progress forward, all right? You did that, you've been there, you've done that. It's time to do something different, okay? So, of course, have those moments of reflection, but then come up out of it, all right? All right, Spirit saying, the healed version of yourself is going to deserve, unconditional love, all right? A relationship where there's equal giving and receiving, all right? Where there is pretty much fairness, all right? Love and affection is returned, all right? Not one person just putting in all their energy, all their work, all their effort into somebody who act like, oh, they supposed to do that. No, we supposed to do that. It's a us thing, okay? right, so we got passion and we got sunglasses. All right, so regardless of whether or not you feel like you have the passion to start this journey, as long as you know that it's something you need to do and you decide and you intentionally make your focus um, to chase this new version of yourself, your passion will start to grow for it. All right. You may not have like an insane chemistry for this new version of your life or this burning desire. All right. But as you start to make the changes little by little, that passion is going to grow. All right. And then it's going to turn into something that does feel insane. All right. That does feel completely aligned with yourself. All right. So you're going to have people watching you. All right. They're going to be watching you, wondering, all right, stalking you, trying to see what's going on, why you didn't change, why you didn't switched up. All right. Still trying to attach to you. But remember, they was attaching to you. All right. Keeping you in this debt, all right, financially and energetically, all right, because you were in this debt financially and energetically. You was trapped in your head. Because you was trapped in your head, you kept going through this loop and this cycle of not really knowing what to do until spirit stepped in, all right, with this tower moment, this liberation, all right, and then you started really tapping in with your spiritual self a lot more so that you can manifest something different. They're gonna be watching you, looking, stalking, all right, trying to get reattached, but it's up to you to put them boundaries up, right? Oh, Jesus. Okay, one more. All right, you gotta be careful with other people's energy because a lot of people will come in wanting to marry you, okay? A lot of people will come in like, yeah, I'm doing the same thing. We're on the same page, when in essence, that's just like a trap, all right? You want to do a lot of introspection so that you really know yourself, so that even if somebody does come in mirroring you, you still need to have a sense of discernment to see whether or not it's going to be a good match for you, all right? So you'll have to make sure you heal all of your inner wounds so that you're not ready to be out here just accepting validation from any and everybody. All right? Clock. All right? So Spirit saying this is going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. All right. It took you cycles. All right. Cycles and seasons to get into this mess. It may take you cycles and seasons to get up out of it. But as you allow the time to progress and you don't retract on your steps and you keep moving forward, that time is going to allow you to heal. All right. And once you start healing, you'll start making more and more and more progress. All right. Bottom of the deck. Cut down. All right. Cutting out, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment. All right. That may be your energy towards a lot of the people in your paths. All right. You just got to cut some shit down, cut some shit out. All right. Cut some people down, cut some people out. But when it's all said and done, as long as you are continuing to strive towards something different and you have that desire and you're taking those actions, then eventually your will become a reality. All right. So don't give up, stay the course. And that's all I got for this one. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye.